think I might need this to balance things out energy-wise. I mean, I've got the coffee there, but I mean, Deku versus Kacchan Part 2. Yes, because, oh, I've just knocked my, that's great, ow. Because I've just watched the F1, Spanish Grand Prix, by the way, Kelly. Kelly, who's one of my fantastic mods who loves My Hero Academia and F1. So yeah, and it wasn't really the most exciting thing on the planet, which would be sugarcoating it, basically. So I'm hoping that this fight is just as chaotic as their first encounter back when Izuku teamed with Uraraka, and yeah, it was a really fantastic fight then, and I'm expecting a hell of a lot of action, a lot of intensity, after we had the fallout of the last episode, where Bakugo wanted the full beans. He wanted the answers. He needed to know everything because after with the fallout of the Bakugo, Ida, and Deku and Uraraka fight, Bakugo was like done. He couldn't believe he lost, and Deku explained 90% of how he has his quirk without revealing that it was All Might's. And in the last episode, we got Bakugo piecing together the dots because he's been super intrigued. And like I said, Bakugo is a very intelligent character. But this is something that he needs, especially after he was not given his pro hero provisional license, should I say. And yeah, there's a lot of emotions going on with Bakugo at the minute, so I am really excited to see what goes down between Deku and Bakugo. But yeah, hello everyone, Liam Catterson here. Yeah, this is episode 23 for season 3 for My Hero Academia. Yeah, like I said, I'm really excited for this. I mean, I cannot express enough how hyped I was when we were basically going back to the place where they first fought each other, and yeah, the prospect of them two fighting, not just are we going to get like a rematch from from rivals, but also they have improved since their initial fight when Deku teamed up with Uraraka and Bakugo teamed up with Ida. They have improved since then, especially Izuku, who when we went back to that episode, episode 6 I think it was. Oh, it started out at episode 6 and then the full thing came in episode 7. Deku didn't really have much going on in terms of his fight styles and all of that. He was pretty much he was pretty much fighting with a hand tied behind his back, I guess, because we only it was only like a few episodes since Deku got his quirk, and like between then and now, where we're at now, Deku's had a hell of a lot of time to practice and has been in a few scenarios. So it will be very exciting to see the difference between Deku, who was at a vulnerable stage, I would say, to Deku now, who has grown so much to the point where Bakugo's even worried that he has surpassed him. There's been a few telling signs, like when Deku was with Gran Torino, the internship situation, Bakugo had nothing going on apart from the hair stuff. But Deku progressed heavily. He did borrow a few moves from Bakugo, but still, it was enough to shook. Well, it shook All Might, but it shook Bakugo as well because Deku was improving, whereas Bakugo was left standing still. So, it will be very interesting to see a couple of seasons development in terms of character movements. It's not just Deku as well, but like I said, Deku when this fight first happened in episode 7 of season 1, there wasn't really much that we saw from Deku, and we've gotten to appreciate Deku's growth in characters and movement and all of that. as the seasons has progressed, as well as Bakugo as well. Like that's what I'm saying. Bakugo, it's not just Deku, it's Bakugo as well. He has progressed heavily, in my opinion, as well throughout the show, since that moment. And it's going to be very, very, and that's why I'm so excited to see these two duke it out. It's not just, oh, rivals are fighting each other, yeah, but these two have really fascinating stories where they just stand out in Class 1A, as Aizawa did put it best. But they do stand out so much in terms of how interesting their developments are. And it's just been really exciting to go along this journey with both Bakugo and Deku. So I'm really excited to see how these two do, because I do have a good feeling that this is going to be a really intense match. But yeah, with that said, let's just get right into this. Full reaction on Patreon, as always. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. So with that said, let's go.
Is it because you looked up to him more than I did? And if that's the case, does it mean everything I've done to be like him is wrong?
Oh my god.
Hey, did you see what he just did? Man,
this is already intense, and we're not even getting to see them duke it out. Just with the words alone.
No matter how much trouble he's in, he's always the winner. He's the coolest in the universe. Do you think
I've been leading to this moment.
I can be a hero too?
Always overthinking things. Just fight me! You're serious? You wanna spar?
Yeah, let's do that. Oh! Here we go. You little shit! Stop grassing!
Why you're so angry, young Bakugo? Because of young Midoriya's sudden improvement, right?
See, that's like salt on the wound when you remember that, isn't it?
It's much easier to level up when you're a novice.
It is.
Why?
Oh my god.
Why? But it's because of me that he ended up losing his power! If I had been stronger, if I hadn't been kidnapped by villains,
Oh my
then it never
god.
would have happened. All Might knows it was my fault, but hasn't said anything. Everyone has to know, though. I can't get it out of my head. It's like it's constantly playing on loop. So what the hell am I felt like I had to go through with it. Because in that moment, I was the only person in the world who understood how Kacchan felt.
That's really the first time he's been broken back
This
ago.
is actually good. We never talked about how we really felt. Above! That was close! Can't let him think! He'll be on me before I land! This is bad! Watch out for his hand!
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Filing about! I thought you weren't gonna be my punching bag! I'm not! I bet you've got some kind of plan up your sleeve!
You're both equal. Oh my god. Oh wow.
Most about you!
He's always got a surprise.
I know what you're thinking. Yours because I had nothing at first. There were things I hated about you, sure. But I could clearly see how amazing you were.
You were inspirational.
You had so much going for you that I didn't have.
Oh
All Might
man.
was my hero, but you were the one actually in my life!
Oh my god. This is emotional.
Because I was so emotional, my continuous whole body limit had been raised to 8%.
Nice.
I thought you were incredible, Kacchan.
Good on
I wanted to
Deku.
see what you'd become.
Push the boundaries a bit further.
I kept chasing after you.
God, this is emotional. These movements. Oh my god, that's impressive. Look at the visual. Oh my god.
My timing was off of that hit. He kicked into a higher gear.
Yep, he did.
That's all you've got. Then pummel me just to relieve a
Oh
little
my
stress.
god, look at these visuals. I love
And I'm
this.
using my kicks so my arms don't get too abused. But I never said I couldn't use them at 5%!
Holy shit! Oh my... I've got no words to describe this voice acting. Holy shit! Oh my god!
You couldn't do anything to change that. You are strong. But I focused too much on your physical strength and overlooked what was important. This isn't your burden. I apologize. Sometimes I forget that you're children.
Oh,
After being a hero, that's why you admire his strength so much, young Midoriya.
exactly.
And I know that's why you've always feared his heart and spirit, young
It's
Bakugo.
that ideal.
Now that you've laid your feelings out on the table, maybe if you have mutual respect and focus on making one another stronger, I've no doubt you'll become the ultimate heroes, winning and saving people at the same time.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! This is...
That's not what I wanted to hear.
But it's the truth.
Girl and Principal Nezer do. As far as students go, only you.
Aizawa as well.
And you don't want this to get out, because that would be bad. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. I won't tell anyone what's going on. Unlike Deku, I can keep my mouth shut. This will stay between us. Thanks, Kacchan.
I don't deserve young Midoriya. That's only fair.
That is...
And so, All Might told Kacchan the whole backstory.
This is a beautiful
About the power
episode.
passed down through generations in order to be used against great evil. About how he used that power to become the symbol of peace. How he was gravely injured, which limited his strength.
Oh my god, I'm
And
emotional.
finally,
And keep getting better myself. I'll go higher
to
than
with the
even
competition
you,
up
chosen
there.
one.
right.
Oh,
Then I
chosen
guess I'll
one.
just have to be better than that.
You what?
I have to go higher than you.
Oh my...
Damn it,
Go
nerd!
beyond!
I just said I was gonna be the one to surpass you!
I know, and now I'm saying that I'm gonna go beyond that level.
What?
They've become proper rivals now, in a way that they weren't.
Still went pretty hard. It wasn't just him.
You're both on house arrest. 4 days for Bakugo and 3 for Midoriya. During that time, you'll clean all the common areas in the dorm morning and night. Plus, I want a written apology. If your injuries need to be checked out, head to the infirmary.
That's probably
But
the
don't
most
rely on
brutal
the old
punishment that
lady's quirk this
Aizawa
time.
has given in
Figure out
this.
a way to heal yourselves.
You just let that rage go. Oh man. Bloody hell, that was an emotional as fuck episode. That might be the best episode I've ever seen from My Hero Academia. It's up there.
I was able to dodge them. You're not gonna win any fight that way.
Oh, right.
And when you added in punches, it really pissed me off.
Predictability. Gotta spice up the action, I'm
Got it.
guessing. Oh, that was great. That bit of advice from Bakugo. That was great. And I really loved that. Like, some post-credit scenes for this show. You know, sometimes they are for a bit of more fun, or they are something you don't really need to check out because they'll be included in the next episode and all of that. I think that was one of the best post-credit scenes ever, because it was it really adds on the new layer of relationship that Bakugo and Deku has, and I just really oh my god, that episode, that is without a doubt one of the most amazing My Hero Academia episodes to date. It's up there with Shoto Todoroki's yeah, it's up there, and like the origin story. I'm done. That episode's bloody brutal. Like, that was emotionally well, like, I think it's safe to say it's one of the best episodes of My Hero Academia, at least for me. It was really, really great to see not just the idea of characters like Izuku and Bakugo, two characters who are strongly represented as like the guys at the front in Class 1A duke it out. But the good thing about this was it wasn't even a fancy fight or whatever. It was more about an emotional investment. Especially when Bakugo reveals that he's been feeling this guilt since Kamino. Oh my god! I gotta say though, when he first divulged into that, I have to say the voice acting was absolutely intense. Like it had me teary eyed. It captivated me. I absolutely loved it. It was really really well done. Like some of the stuff, All Might, comforting Bakugo. This was by far one of like I can honestly say it's one of the best episodes of all time from My Hero Academia, and it was just so great to see these emotions um unravel and this new relationship brewing between Izuku and Bakugo, because there's still going to be that intensity, but now they've got that respectability. Now they can truly form um they can truly form a proper relationship between them two, rather than Bakugo just relentlessly abusing him. Yeah, it's still gonna be intense throughout, and that's rivals at the end of the day. But they both have that aspiration of being like All Might in their hearts, and whereas they both have their own different goals, I guess, with Izuku wanting to put a smile on people, on being a hero. Basically, he wants to save people. He wants to um, make sure that he does his best. And with Bakugo, he wants to be the best. He sees like he needs that that mentality that was placed in him as a kid to come to fruition. And you saw that so much in this episode, because he was questioning, why you? I've been following All Might all throughout, and I've been training for this, and then you just only get your quirk, and got like All Might sees more priority in you than me. It's like, what gives? Um, and it was just really really good, and I'm really really glad that All Might did step in and was able to air out everything. Well, Bakugo and Deku did air out their emotional uh like suppression out in battle, but they really really needed that pep talk from All Might at the very end, because there's no way of therapy in the show. All Might even said it, that Bakugo has been feeling this guilt, and that's been carried on throughout the examination, and that could be partly to why he lost, rather than just, okay, well, like maybe he was also a bit sloppy as well, because we know Bakugo can be a bit aggressive, maybe a bit more aggressive than usual, but he might have been a bit distracted, and there might be that greater pressure, because he feels that like he's been seeing All Might as an icon. We saw in the fight where we had All Might versus Bakugo and Deku that he was really really motivated by that determination, and he feels like and Kamino felt like that admiration that Bakugo had with All Might is a betrayal, after he feels that responsibility of costing him his life as a hero. He retired him, so he feels like that betrayal. And now we've transferred from Kamino to I think there was a few weeks difference between the two locations, but still it's still going to be really really fresh, the shock that All Might's retired and that. So even so, it's still going to be fresh on the mind, and that might knock some confidence. And um I kind of do relate in a sense to like if Bakugo felt a bit discouraged, and if his performance and all of that, like the way he was practicing to become a hero felt a bit off, because I felt that kind of way too. My stepfather died in like several years ago. A few days later, I had an examination which I couldn't concentrate on, because the loss of my stepdad was on my mind, and I feel like if I wouldn't say bullied him to go to the doctors, because he was stubborn, and he was like, it's fine, and yeah. But I felt like if like I know I wouldn't have been able to make a difference, but even I saw it. But I didn't say anything, and there's that there's that guilt, and that guilt can really really affect you emotionally. And I mean, it's a bit selfish, a bit more of a selfish comparison probably, but I can understand why, like, how something like this can really really affect the mentality in something so pivotal like an examination for, an examination for a pro hero license for Bakugo. This is something that means that will um impact your career so much. And it did a bit for, well, it hasn't really for Bakugo at the minute. Like, he hasn't got the pro hero license yet. He can try again. But now that he has released all of that pent up emotion, there's that certainty that he can probably get the pro hero license, maybe, because one thing's a constant: Bakugo's always going to have a fiery personality. So that's why I'm thinking, well, Bakugo might have been a bit distracted going into this examination, because there's no one to air out that guilt. There's like nobody has this like therapy and all of that for like for someone who might be having mental problems and all. Like they have that depression, they have that guilt, everything. What Bakugo's feeling, there was no way to air out that emotional distress that was clearly going on in his head. And I really really loved, like I said, I can't comment it enough, the voice actor was bloody my god, like it really really emotionally destroyed me, because it was just like, this is the first time we've heard like Bakugo in this kind of state anyways. But even so, like the performance was nailed on the head, and I really really loved that. But like, as I was saying, now that he can try again with this summer school thing for the pro hero license, he hasn't got as much weight on his shoulders. I mean, we even saw in this episode that he's still gonna feel a bit of responsibility for All Might's retirement, but All Might has confided to him, saying, I was always like, this was always going to be the case anyways. You have no reason to blame yourself whatsoever. But but Bakugo's still going to be feeling a bit of guilt, but it's not going to be heavier than it has been like since Camino. So yeah. But yeah, I absolutely enjoyed that episode, and it was really, really great stuff to go into the emotions of it. It was great to see the physicalities as well. Like I said, it wasn't fancy, but it wasn't about, oh, fancy movements and all of that. It was emotions. Even Deku recognized it. This was like, Deku realized that he was the only one to basically satisfy Bakugo's feelings at the minute by giving him what he wanted, and that was that fight to see why you So it was really, really great stuff to see. But there was still some impressive visuals. Don't get me wrong. And Deku has now realized, oh, I've improved my body a bit. Now I can amp up the percentage of One for All from 5% to 8%. So that's really, really great stuff to see. And it's giving him that a bit more fast, like we saw we've seen him do some damage at 5%, so 8% it's still pretty big, I guess, because it's like nearly double 5% anyways, isn't it? It's 5% and a half really, just over 5% and a half, because it would be 7.5, I guess, if you're going to half from if you're going to find a middle ground between 5 to 10. So yeah, but still it like I'm imagining with something like One for All in you, even a couple of percentage is still going to be like insane. So yeah, but it was really, really good, the visuals, and I really did love that episode entirely. And I really loved that post-credit scene as well, because it was the first sign of their like respectability in this new relationship that they formed. They formed a new layer in their relationship, which is really, really nice stuff to see. Where Bakugo is advising Deku about how he can make his movements a bit less predictable, because that's one thing that he realized when how he was able to beat him. But not just that though, Bakugo is a better fighter anyways, and that's why Izuku he wanted to know, okay, so how did you feel about my movements and all of that? So yeah, he knows how to turn to Bakugo, because Bakugo is the better fighter, and we saw that in episode 7, where he had pretty much the upper hand. Like I said, I mean, it didn't help as much that he was on a bit of the back foot, I'm guessing, because Deku hasn't had as much time to practice with One for All, and how to use it and all of that, and it was still a bit unpredictable as well. So I say unpredictable, it screwed him up still, whereas in this fight he wasn't worried about breaking his arm and all of that. It was just channeling that 5% or 8% now. But yeah, I really did love Bakugo. I think it makes sense though that Bakugo did win, because like I said, he is the better fighter. So and there's that predictability, so Bakugo's able to sense it. So yeah, but I absolutely, oh my god, that was a really great episode emotionally, from Bakugo wanting to know why was it you, because I've always looked up to All Might. Is it something like, did I do something wrong? And we know that he's got a prideful personality, so he wants to make sure that he is able to surpass the legacy of All Might, but to do it in a way that is satisfactory. Yeah, that's the right word. In a satisfactory way, and he feels like with All Might choosing with All Might choosing Deku, it's like it's a punch to the gut, and I really loved all of the tension being aired out, and it was done in a fantastic fashion. It was done like more than a fantastic fashion, because the emotions portrayed in all the characters, especially Bakugo, it crushed your heart so much, and I absolutely enjoyed this episode so much. So it was a brilliant episode. Like I said, one of the best, if not the, well, I don't know, like, because the Shoto Todoroki origin story will always be a standout story for me with season 2, and through all of the My Hero Academia, like, for the same reason, the emotions behind the backstory was really brilliantly done. Same with this, emotionally, especially from the voice actor, from someone aggressive like Bakugo as well. it really, really just overwhelmed your heart, and I absolutely enjoyed it. So yeah, that was, like I said, one of the best episodes of My Hero Academia ever. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where next episode brings, and hopefully the Bakugo Deku relationship is able to. I mean, it started off well with Bakugo helping Deku out a bit. There's, like I said, there's always going to be that feistiness between them, but they're rivals anyways. But as long as they respect each other and help each other out, like All Might suggested, then it will be better than their relationship that they've had before, where there was so much toxicity. I can't say the word right, but you get the idea. There was too much toxic between the pair, and now that they've aired out everything, Bakugo knows every bit of detail about why Deku got one for all, and like everything about All Might's power, like how it was passed down and all of that. He's able to there's a more clear connection rather than their feelings being muddled up and unaddressed. So yeah, you know what? I gotta watch this episode with Torture Boy. Like I'll just pop down to his and be like, okay, so you did it with me, I'll do it with you. So yeah, but no, in all seriousness, I absolutely enjoyed that episode so much. It was really, really well done. And that's understatement, because that has really, really caught me. That I wasn't really ready for the emotions of that episode whatsoever, or the voice acting, but it was done perfecto, so I bloody loved it. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!